Hello, everybody, and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn. This is our very first live stream here in Asia Pacific for Adobe Live. So, hooray! Yay! I hope you had a fantastic break. If you got one, I hope you are looking at the new year with bright eyes and tons of energy and looking forward to tackling some new projects. We've got heaps of stuff for beginners and advanced users coming over the next couple of weeks and months. And this is just a bit of a kind of sneaky little solo stream that I thought we would cover because there was something that I've been kind of itching to cover that came out, which was Premiere on mobile. So now Premiere, a version of Premiere is available in the palm of our hand, which is super, super cool. I've actually been using it a little bit over the break and I've been meaning to do a demo on it. And then also something that is currently being announced is a partnership with YouTube. So we're going to cover all of those things today. And I just want to demonstrate kind of my three favorite features of Premiere on mobile. And yeah, it's just really cool. And I think it's pretty amazing, the sort of technology that we are now having in the palm of our hands. I think it's really great for content creators, definitely. And it's probably great for social media managers and anybody with a small business. That we all know the hardest thing is just to produce content that looks good. And so often, particularly at the beginning of the year, we think, you know what, no, every Friday I'm going to make sure I bring out a video, or I'm going to try and do 3 videos a week. And you'll see this big surgence in, at the beginning of the year, and that all trails off because it's an easy thing to stop doing. So there's some features within here that make cut down a lot of those barriers to entry and allow you to just use your mobile device and produce pretty damn good content. So we're going to check that out. Just before we do, actually, you know what? Let's just jump into it. So I'm going to go over to my iPad now and click on Premiere. And we're just going to jump back a little bit because I've been mucking around with this a couple of times today. Let's just delete that. Let's delete that from the other day. And we're going to check this out. If you haven't seen Premiere on mobile before, this is essentially what the interface looks like. It may ask you to log in, but you don't actually have to. So you can log in with your Adobe account and you'll get extra features, often using credits like AI credits and things like that. And it's also easier if you just log in using your credentials if you want to save things to the cloud or somewhere else. I am logged in because I'm going to demonstrate a couple of pro features here as well, but you don't have to. Anyone can just download this and have a little play around without having to log in, which I think is great. I often want to bust out software and have a little bit of a go first before I start signing up to things. So I think that's a really good thing. You can just create a new, top left, you can create a new from your photo library. You can create something specifically for YouTube Shorts, which we're going to get into, and all sorts of other things. There's a couple of other features there, but we're just going to sort of talk about the main partnership thing that was announced today, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a demo on how I particularly been finding using the software. But yeah, this is kind of the new thing. So a partnership between Adobe and YouTube, basically trying to cut down the time and the friction between creating social content and actually publishing it. As I said, my phone and computer are full of unpublished videos that I just kind of didn't quite get around to doing, or I didn't really like the quality of, or, I kind of got to the point where I shot all the content, got it all on there, and then I just really struggled to click publish. And this is trying to help that, I think. So it says, make it yours for YouTube. And there are all these templates and you can steal the templates. That's basically what it is. So let's check this one out. Just the very first one. So we've got something to watch while I'm talking. So yeah, I guess this is like a fit check for someone that's going through their days of the week. Right, pretty straightforward. There's a big button down the bottom that says use this template, and all the things up the top left are tags. So the tags are YouTube Shorts, lifestyle, beauty, travel, health, and we're going to jump back. I don't really have any content that's going to match that template particularly, but let's have a look at a few more. So this is obviously a bit more of a travel thing. So maybe you've gone on your trip and you've got all these videos. What do you do with them? You could come in here, select this, and then go through everything and just stop. Looks like they're in Miami or something. That's super cool. So we're going to jump back here. Let's look at one more kind of different one. This looks like a night out. So it's got a bit of a glitchy effect. So you will get all those effects if you download it, which is pretty fun. So that's a Friday night one. Actually, this will be terrible, but let's do it. So we're going to use this template that absolutely does not match the video, the videos that I have prepared for us today, because my videos are plants in my backyard. But we're going to download it and we're going to do it anyway. So now that we have the template, we've chosen our template, and now it's bringing me into my library by default. And I have I have an assortment of videos and stuff my kids have done, and a couple of images. So you can choose images or you can choose video, which I think is really cool because sometimes we don't have all the video in the world. So I'm just going to select maybe 3 of my videos. I really don't need that many. We're going to try and keep it short, and the rest I'm going to choose as images. Something I wanted to point out, up the top it says 8 of 8. When you pick a template, it will have a certain amount of frames. So it'll have a certain amount of pieces of content. I had one before that had 18 sort of quick cut images in the template. So just something to keep in mind. You don't have to do that, but the way that it's usually cut to the beat, or it's cut to music, or it's cut using certain transitions. This one was very, very quick, obviously. And so there's less, but there were some longer ones as well. Like obviously that Monday to Saturday fit check one was probably 7, right? So yeah, something to keep in mind. Because you have to select them all. So here's our Friday night foliage night. Awesome. And there's the glitch just doesn't work, but you get the idea. Hopefully I'm not taking too much away from it. But you can just go export from here. So the top right, maybe I was like, yep, this is my Friday night. It's clearly during the day. But your top right, you can just go export. You can just download it straight away. So you can download that. You can choose the resolution that you want, depending on where you're uploading it. The frame rate as well. Usually you're going to be looking at something like this, 1080, 30. You probably want the quality to be high. You don't want compression to be happening at this stage. It's got an estimated file size, and you can just press that export video and it will go into your library. Then you can airdrop it, or you can share it wherever you like, upload it to Shorts or TikTok or Instagram stories, whatever. You can also, if I go export, hang on, where is it? Export full video. So now that's creating the video. So we're exporting. So obviously people used to video will be used to this process. That's just gone down. I haven't edited it. Obviously you can edit it. I'm going to show you that in a sec. But as we go, just the fact that it says Friday night in neon thin line is just juxtaposing against the vibe I was going for. But this is funnier. Now that it's exported, and the reason I showed you this is you can share that on YouTube Shorts. So you could, if I click that, it's going to take me to my login screen. I'm not going to log in live, but it will just basically, through the API, bring you to a login screen to log into your Google account. And then it will ask for permission to publish on your behalf, and you can publish directly. So that process, like imagine if you're a photographer or you're someone on a shoot, social media manager, small business owner, and you're just trying to, I just want to use my phone, I want to record a couple of bits, I want to find a template that works, and then I want to publish it, and I don't want to think about it again. Well, you could do that now very, very quickly. So yeah, a lot of the middle person is gone here, where you don't have to download and then export and then share and then log in and then publish and all that sort of stuff. You just do it all from your phone. Again, I don't know if I said this, but I'm using my iPad just because it lends itself much better to the live stream experience. But every feature that is on here is also on your phone. And I know I'm showing landscape, but it's just showing vertical, letterboxes, everything, and it makes it hard to see things. So that's why I'm using my iPad today. So let's just go back, go here. Before I move on, I just also want to show you, so you can see the glitchies. You can go full editor, which is that third button. We're going to click that. And then you can see that it's created it in this template. And this is really cool. So even if you only liked 1 or 2 features of the template, you could still pick it and then just remove the, whatever it was. So maybe well, let's talk about this type. So I've selected the type, which is up the top. It says Friday night. It is not Friday night. We're going to change the style first. Let's see if we can change it to something. We definitely want a different font. Uh-oh. I'm going to be here for a long time. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I got to find something that's okay. That's fine. We're fine with that. We want something a little bit earthy. Cool. And is definitely not Friday night. So we're going to change that to blue, berry, ash. And we'll throw in some exclamation points. No, that looks terrible. Blueberry ash. Because that's what this plant is that we're looking at here. So let's make it shorter because it's not that good. But there's our blueberry ash, and we've still got our glitches and things like that. So yeah, so you can go in, you can remix the template super easily. Maybe you want to change the transition. Let's see if we can do that. Should be able to do that somewhere like this. Let's go here. Here. Just trying to hold down. It was working before. Oh yeah, there we go. Click you. There we go. We've got our effects and things like that. So yeah, let's have a quick little look through some of the features here, and then I'll show you one that I prepared earlier and some of the other features I really like. So I've selected this this video, so you can see it's a video. So it's going to have a contextual menu down the bottom that's a little bit different. So if it's an image, you'll have different options. Some are the same, some are different. And so let's. But if it's a video, it's going to be showing video stuff. This is an image, so it's slightly different. You can do image to video. You can expand the image as well, all sorts of stuff like that. So let's just have a quick little look through the video. Got this happening. You can split it. You can delete it. You can duplicate it. You can replace it with something else. I changed my mind. I actually want to replace it with this image over here. You can do that very, very easily without moving things around the timeline, which is great. Some audio options in there, enhanced speech, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but I'll demo that. You can remove the background. This looks thing is kind of interesting. So this is a filter. So maybe you wanted it to be a bit more sunset like this. And then if you click this, all the, I can't really show you because I just have to press it, but color settings applied to all. So that top left one in that little kind of pop-up that has all the squares with the plus, that meant that we just applied that to every single image that we have here. It looks awful, so we're going to go back, but you can do that if you choose. So let's just hold this back down to get back in here. And the other cool thing, I think, is it looks, adjustments, of course. You can do your contrast, you can do exposure, things like that. But if we go to effects, I think this is really cool because sometimes when I'm shooting something on my phone, I'm really just trying not to shake. I'm trying to get the subject right, or something's happening that I can't reshoot, someone walking past, someone laughing, something like that. So you can add these other effects to it, which is super cool. We already have this RGB pulse, but there's lots of other ones in here. I kind of like these kind of flares that are happening as well. But yeah, you can throw them in. You can add them to every frame with one click, which is really cool. So that's another cool feature. Let's move on to this image. Yeah, you can freeze it if you just want to freeze frame as well. That's sometimes really handy. You can reverse everything. You can change the speed. You can speed things up. You can slow things down. There's all sorts of things that you could imagine that you could do here. We also have, just right on the end, we have animation. So that animation button is your fade in and fade out. So if you wanted to change that as well, you could have things fading in, sliding in, rotating out, all sorts of stuff like that as well. That's going to look terrible in this template, so I'm going to leave it. And then let's go to the music. So I'm holding down, having a look at that music, so you can change all that. That's interesting in this template. It doesn't seem like you can actually change this. So maybe the audio is the true feature that you can't change. That's interesting. I hadn't gone this far down this route. But this should exist as a project. Yeah, cool. And so we should be able to do stuff. I can go to music here. Interesting. So I probably could add my own music here again. Maybe it replaces, but we won't get into the weeds of that. So we have all of this stuff. It's pretty short. I'm going to say we're going to demo. I don't actually know how to go back out, so I just keep having to do that. Anyway, stop. You want this one? So what I want to do is I want to do a voiceover. So I think this is pretty cool as well. I'm trying to think of use cases. This helps me, I think, because I want to shoot video and then I want to be able to quickly do a voiceover, and I want it to sound good because I'm an audio guy, and it's really important that things sound good to audiences. It's probably like people will deal with bad video, but they will never deal with bad audio. So if they can't hear you, if there's too much background noise and things like that, it's just an instant scroll, right? And it's so easy to scroll. So don't give people an excuse. You want to be as engaging as possible, and you want to have a great voice. So let's do this voiceover. I'm just going to record this in one go, just really quickly. I'm going to rabble and talk about Blueberry Ash, and keeping in mind that, yes, I have a fancy mic and all this stuff, but that's not going to my iPad. My iPad, I'm just using the external speaker. I don't have any headphones or anything. I'm literally just going straight into the iPad, because then we're going to make it sound good. All right, here's the 3, 2, 1. Ooh, look at this blueberry ash in Flyn's backyard. Isn't it beautiful? It's about to bloom. There's a rosella, and these are the little blueberry ashes that give it this name, and those are the beautiful flowers. What? All right, so I was not expecting it to go that long. So I'm actually going to turn the music way down to like 1. Because I want you guys to listen to the voiceover, and I'm sorry you have to listen to it again. Ooh, look at this blueberry ash in Flyn's backyard. Isn't it beautiful? It's about to bloom. There's a rosella, and these are the little blueberry ashes that give it its name, and those are the beautiful flowers. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my favorite feature in the last couple of years at Adobe, which is enhanced speech. As I said, I love audio. I have created lots and lots of podcasts. I do probably the main thing that I do outside of working with Adobe and doing live stream and working with the Asia Pacific team is I produce podcasts. So for a variety of other clients, kind of on the side, but it keeps me kind of in the weeds of working with clients and, being part of the industry. So I do really enjoy that. And this button, this magic thing has saved my life so many times, saved me weekends of editing. I've always found it quite difficult and laborious to edit long form audio. Like if you've got 4 different people talking, you've got 2 hosts, 2 guests, and you have an hour and a half of content, you need to cut that down to about 55 minutes. The amount of times you have to listen to that to get it really, really good is killer. So this little button has saved me a ton of time. This is called enhanced speech. You may have seen it. It does exist in Premiere Pro. There are more dials and buttons in Premiere Pro, but I've actually always found it really, because I use Adobe Audition, is my workflow has been exporting my final mix down after I've done my first pass of editing, uploading it, and using enhanced speech on the web. I've always found that that's been a really high quality version. And then I save that file and I send that to the client. I usually use Frame.io so that they can make little comments along the thing. But you could do it in Dropbox or however you want to kind of do it. And then they make the changes, and then I'll go back into my Adobe Audition file, make those edits, and I know that's final now. And then what I'll do is I'll export that mix down, and then upload it to the Adobe Podcaster. I'll share you a link in the bottom or something after the stream, and that will enhance the speech. And then I download it again, bring it back into Adobe Audition, and then I add the music. So I wouldn't use any AI on any music. It's not there yet, and it can do really weird things with music. So do not, big warning, don't, I wouldn't, try to run a music track at the same time as a voiceover track at the same time through an AI enhancer. Do not do that. Trust me, it sounds really weird. I should have pressed this before I did my ramble. But because that's just processing for a second, but it's very short. It's only 10 seconds, so it should only take about 10 seconds to do. But what it's doing is it is using AI technology, and it's not happening on my iPad. It's going back through the cloud, and that's being magically fixed. So it's enhancing my vocals. It's lowering any background noise. It's doing all these manual things that we've always had to do. Like anyone that's edited audio knows very laborious and you really do need to know kind of what you're doing. And just really, yeah, time consuming. That's the other thing. It's doable, but it's very, very time consuming. So let's listen to that again. Ooh, look at this blueberry ash in Flyn's backyard. Isn't it beautiful? It's about to bloom. There's a rosella, and these are the little blueberry ashes that give it its name, and those are the beautiful flowers. Now, I can't hear that, so hopefully you guys can hear that, or it's going to be a really boring demonstration, but it is pretty incredible. So I'm in a pretty isolated space right now, but you could do it standing on the street out front of the club. You can do it with cars going past. You could do it on the train. And you will really notice a difference when you use enhanced speech. So again, just thinking of those use cases of a very busy person running a cafe and trying to create content, or running a small business, or, you're running from client to client, but, your boss has said, hey, we really need you to do some behind the scenes stuff for us. There's some really, really quick and easy ways to do that now. And I think it's probably only going to get better over time. So it's just kind of launched. So yeah, you can check that out. And then we go back and again, you can just pick a template, throw your images in, throw your video content in, and you can very quickly do some stuff. I wanted to show you one I prepared earlier. This is without using a template. So this is something I've created. So this is another workflow that you could do. So I just spent a bit more time on this, and I didn't want you guys to have to sit there and watch me do this whole thing. So this is with a voiceover. It's using enhanced speech. It's using images. So I built this studio this is the inside. What you're seeing here is the outside of my new creative studio. So it's just in my backyard, and it's amazing and perfect, and I love it. It still needs a lot of work. As you can see, I'm missing some artwork and some soundproofing, but I am very close to being there. So I made this little video as a bit of a trailer to a series that I'll be doing. I documented a lot of what I was doing in here and building and things like that. And I want to publish it as a series, just so I'm sure people will ask about the space over time, and I can point people, hey, if you want to see how I did it, here is all this. And I'm a total noob, so it was a pretty interesting experience, to say the least. But anyway, I think this is really perfect. So this was all just done on Premiere Mobile. I actually did this on my phone, sitting on the couch. So yeah, it was pretty easy to do. I think it took me about an hour, maybe a little bit more, to get the captions right. But let's watch this and then we'll wrap up. Wanted to build your own dream workspace? I have, and I'm almost done. This is my backyard studio. I'm about to launch a series that covers my journey from planning, building, insulation, cladding, painting, materials, cost, and everything else. I'm a total beginner and I had no experience building anything, and I made a lot of mistakes. But I learned a lot too, and I'm going to cover it all in this series. It's easier than you think, probably about twice as expensive, and it's going to take 10 times longer, but it's totally doable. Follow here or on YouTube for more. Yeah, so there you go. Very easily done, just in the palm of my hand. So I could actually upload that as well. If I exported that video, it would also bring up the option to upload it directly to Shorts. And then other people could use that template too. So you could choose to put that freely out or not. You don't have to. And then it may come up here. It wasn't really something that was remixable. I think it's usually music that drives the remixing. But then, yeah, people could use it. But I think that probably takes us to the end of today. And I hope you give it a go. I hope you try Premiere on mobile. I've been finding it really, really useful. Let us know if you have any thoughts in the comments, things like that. And we'll see you soon for more Adobe Live.